crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place?
The taco place?
Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cards are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's. Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.
It's time for the Riley and Ridge Show, presented by Jackson's on Bronco Nation News. The Riley and Ridge Show takes you into the locker room and the coach's office, giving you a unique perspective on Boise State football from two guys who know a thing or two about what it takes to win on the blue. Riley Smith was a Campbell Trophy semifinalist and a four-time Mountain West Scholar athlete who was part of 52 wins and 2 Mountain West championships during his 6 years as a quarterback and tight end with the Broncos. Kent Riddle won 7 conference championships in 13 years as an assistant coach at Boise State while working with the running backs, tight ends, and special teams. He has nearly 3 decades of coaching experience overall, including stops at Army, Colorado, North Texas, and Arkansas State. The Riley and Ridge Show is presented by Jackson's. Need a pick-me-up? Stop into Jackson's for a 16-ounce coffee for just 99 cents with Let's Go Rewards. Now, let's go out to the James Kitchen and Bar near Albertsons Stadium and join Riley Smith and Kent Riddle for another edition of the Riley and Ridge Show, presented by Jackson's on Bronco Nation News.
What's up, Bronco Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Riley and Ridge Show, sponsored by Jackson's, and we are here at the James. It's another beautiful night, and we got a legend in our presence. We got former Boise State stud. We got Kamalei Correa. Appreciate you coming out, brother.
Thanks for having me.
I know, dude.
I'm really happy to be here.
It's been in the works for a while.
We've been working on this for a while. Yeah, very fortunate to get Kamalei out tonight. So, again, as always, thanks to Jackson's for their support. But, yeah, this has been something we've been working on. Got a defensive edge rushing legend here.
Oh, yeah.
Actually made the conversion to inside backer in the NFL, which we can talk about that in a little bit. But, what are you up to these days? I know, but let's.
Yeah, no, for sure. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you guys for having me on the show. Secondly, I just want to give a shout out to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. He's really changed my life after leaving football. Nowadays, I'm a dad, first and foremost. I really enjoy my daughter. Her name's Rain. She's 7 years old, and she's the light of my life. That's my first and foremost priority. I opened up a barbershop. It was called Novelty Salon. I got it tattooed because I was super proud of my accomplishment there, and just starting a business and being an entrepreneur. We had it open for about 2 years. Things didn't go accordingly as planned, but I really enjoyed my time doing that. I got to cut a lot of the players here at Boise State, build great relationships with guys. But currently I'm helping coach football down at Coal Valley Christian. So shout out to my boys at Coal Valley.
Yes, sir.
Coach Jordan, all the boys. I love those kids, and we just truly have a great time, and I enjoy pouring back into the youth and just enjoying life now.
How awesome is that for those guys? Get coached by a Bronco legend,
Big time,
NFL player.
Oh, they definitely get a little more yelling than coaching, I'll tell you that. But it's all love, boys.
That's how it should be.
We got hopefully everybody's got us tuned in here. We got some playoff baseball going on. A huge win for the Mariners. Shout out to Grace.
Hey, go Braves.
Oh yeah.
Aaron Judge just went deep, so hopefully you can tune that on too. But we appreciate everybody joining us. So, obviously tough one for the Broncos last week, although they, played really well for a half. We're battling all over the place. I know you're a guy that follows these guys. Not so much what you think about the game. BJ and all those guys cover that stuff, so we'll let them have their opinions on that, but which might not be right, but we'll let them have those opinions. But no, seriously, talk a little bit more about just, I know you've been a part of some teams, maybe didn't start out great. I think of the 14 team for sure, right? But, a little bit more like what's going through your head at this point in the season, knowing there's still a long way to go. I mean, we haven't even started conference play yet. And just talk to a little bit about how you get and maybe I think one thing's always different is everybody out here, like the ship back on track. Like in there, the ship might be exactly on track. Right. So go ahead. Just some of your thoughts about that, because you've done it at a lot of different levels.
Yeah, no, I think first and foremost is the landscape of college football is so much different now. It's so unique with all these NIL deals and these contracts and who's playing where. And I think the competition has elevated across the board. And you've seen it the first game when we went down to USF. And, it was a tough game. And for me, being a former player, I was expecting to win by a large amount. And that just wasn't the case, right? Yeah. And it just goes to show you that every week in college football is up for grabs for anybody. The competition is high-level ball now, and you have to be at your best each and every week. And when you're not, you will get exposed. But specifically for the boys here at Boise State, I truly believe in Coach Danielson and what he's doing. First off, he's a tremendous dude. He cares for his boys. He's a tremendous human being. And I believe in what he's building here. And the wins and losses may not always show the growth of where these kids are going and headed to. Like you pointed out, Coach, we still got a long ways to go in the season. And backtracking to our 2014 season where we headed down to Ole Miss, we got lit up by them. The Air Force game, we really struggled, right?
That was a rough one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And
I think of those two games a little bit like the two this year. They just reversed a little bit, right? We hung around with Ole Miss for about a half and then kind of got out of control towards the end. Thought we'd go in there and blow Air Force out and got beat. I think there's a lot of similarities. Just happened one game was first and one game was second for these guys. But go ahead. Sorry.
That's Boise State football. No, you're exactly right, Coach. And that is Boise State football. I think this school and this university is built off that blue collar mentality, right? And when we get punched in the mouth, I know that we respond well. I don't think we do. I know we respond well. And I know the boys are going to finish off with a positive season, and where we end up in a bowl game, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, when we go back to our 2014 season, we had those two losses, and everyone was kind of like, what are we going to do and where we're going to fall? And I remember after the Mountain West Championship game where we went up to the Skybox that next day, and we got that Fiesta Bowl bid, and we got Arizona in the call-in. I mean, you just seen a whole different team. The fellas' eyes lit up, and we were just, grateful for the opportunity, and we took advantage. And it's just up to the boys from here on out each and every week to step up to the plate, to step up to the challenge, whether it's Colorado State or Alabama. It doesn't matter who it is.
Absolutely.
The boys just have to continue to keep playing, and we back them. We believe in them. We're always here, and we're proud of them regardless of the wins and losses.
No question.
No doubt.
And I think back to that 14 team, and like after the Air Force game, Coach Harsh came in and it was like, hey, one game at a time, guys, just 1-0 every week. Like, that's all we can control. We can't worry about where we're at the end of the year. And Riley and Billy and myself and Cameron had a conversation a couple years ago like that too. Like, hey, just control what you can control, and the rest of it will take care of itself. And that's the stuff that matters. And you can't worry about all the outside stuff, and you can't go back and fix other games. Like, if I'd have done this, if I'd have done that. All you can do is try and keep that from happening again, or learn from whatever, whether it's a coaching wise, a scheme, whether it's a technique, or any of that stuff. All you can do is learn from it and move on. But I still maintain the fact that if the Broncos take care of what they can take care of, things will probably work out pretty good for them in the end.
Agreed. And I think a lot of people lost sight that that's a really good football team. Like, they were the championship last year, barely lost Texas A&M and Miami.
Exactly.
Blew Arkansas out of the water. Like, that's a really good team, and we had a lot of negatives, but we also showed a lot of positives. So going into conference play, I'm excited to see how we build off both.
I thought the way the guys just like stood up, and
for sure.
Whether we were talking earlier, like that goal line stand, first one, but hey, that's obviously a huge deal. But let's not minimize the offense getting the ball out of there,
right? Which is
and
huge.
flipping the field with a 50-yard punt that gets fumbled. I mean,
because a lot of people were in the stands bummed about that first drive, and I was like, well, we just hit our goal, is getting 2 first downs, getting out of there, flipping the field position. So that's a win.
Like, to me, that's the stuff that I'm looking at. And were there some bad breaks, and guy falls down on a route, and it turns into a pick. Even before that play, Wags kind of tripped going in.
Right.
He might have scored that one has he not just snag his feet. I mean, there's so many what ifs in a game like that. But I thought the guys like bowed up, never quit. I mean, even the last touchdown happened because the defensive guys are all trying to win the game back for us, trying to get a turnover instead of tackling like they had been all game.
Yeah, no, the boys battled, Coach, and exactly what you were saying. Notre Dame has some talent. For sure. And it was clear.
Yeah.
And
we won't play another team that talented all year.
Not even close. And I tell you what, that backfield that they have is very impressive. And as a collective team, it's like it's good on good across the board, like we said earlier. And you got to bring your best week in and week out. And sometimes your best is it's not enough. And that's a life lesson too.
Even last year, I thought Jeremiah Love was the second best running back in college football. Thankfully, to the guy we had here.
Exactly. Shout out to Ashton.
Now, Ashton moved on, so in my mind, that probably makes him the best running back in college football.
And it was almost a good feeling that we were all disappointed that we didn't win the game, to think that we should have won, like against a major team like that. Like, that's how good this team is. It's like after the game, I was like, we should have won that. Like,
absolutely.
I knew we had the talent to beat them.
It was 14-7 at half, right?
It didn't go our way, but it felt good. And I'm excited to see the rest of the games and catch another ring. You know what I'm talking about?
Another ring, baby. Let's get it.
That's right. And at the end of the day, like, I know the goal now is to win a college football playoff game in there, but the first part of that goal is to win the conference championship. And there's still 100% chance to do that, right? I mean,
with home field advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And I would argue, maybe UNLV or somebody else might feel different, I'm sure, if you asked one of their fans. But if you ask me, I would say we're still the favorite. Right, we've played a lot better teams than anybody else has.
Yeah, we're not biased, right?
Yeah. No, I think it'll be a fun year. It starts with this week, showing up, packing the stadium. New Mexico's no joke now. I almost said like they're not same old New Mexico, but I go back to like 2014 and 15 for that matter, right? But in 14, if this guy doesn't block a punt in safe punt on defense, like we're struggling. I mean, every JHI's going off, having a great game. Grant,
we were back and forth that whole game, right?
But I mean, they're running some version of triple option. And, we
They're
finally
crazy
stop,
defense.
get them held, backed up, and we go safe. And Kamalei runs in there, blocks punt. We get her on like the 4-yard line, score, and go up 2 scores instead of 1, and that really changed the outcome of the game. But going back to 14, I see Robbie, one of our all the time contributors here, wanted to know what was the immediate emotion hitting the ground, dragging Solomon down with you on that final play of the Fiesta Bowl. That one of my favorite plays, by the way. And that whole drive,
too,
that whole drive on defense was just freaking awesome. I know they got the ball down there, but we made them take like the whole deal. They had no idea about the clock, any of that stuff. But you came through, kind of looped back in. Go ahead. I don't want to steal your thunder.
No, I mean, first off, that game was just a blessing to be in. That Fiesta Bowl, that atmosphere, that energy was second to none. That was probably one of the craziest games I've ever been a part of. And they had a good team that year. If I can recall, they beat Oregon that year.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Oregon went on to play in the national championship. So they were a good team.
And Scooby Wright
was
the defensive player of the year, but not the defensive player of the game.
Right. Yeah, it was Tanner Vallejo. So shout out to my boy TB. Yeah. That was that game was crazy, but that specific play, that is one of my favorite plays all time. And I say that because when that play happened and we hit Solomon, when I say we, it was me and Sam Mack.
Yep.
Sam still wants credit for the tackle, but bro, you got to call the analyst on that one, buddy. It's not mine. But yeah, no, when we made that play, the clock was running down, and I vividly remember Coach Steve Caldwell screaming at me to get back to the line of scrimmage. Yeah. He was, his face was red because he wanted us to get back to the line. But I looked up at the clock, and the clock was running down. The stadium was yelling like 4, 3, 2.
That's crazy.
Emotions were flaring, and I just was flexing, and emotions started coming out, crying, and just super grateful and proud of that team for finishing off the way we did.
No doubt. I actually, Caldwell, I was standing somewhere near him, and I can hear him still yelling, "Get back!" But somehow he was also the first guy on the field, running out, jumping.
That's electric.
Hey, Coach Caldwell, I love you, buddy.
Yeah, no doubt. We all do. We maybe we can get Coach Caldwell to come back for a guest spot.
Please come back, Coach. We miss you, buddy.
You'll have to get back on. Yeah, it is cool. We like when I was playing, we'd watch those games and we'd be fired up. We're like, man, this is the tradition, this is the foundation that we're living up to, and it's pretty legit.
Well, that game,
see plays like that
was such a cool deal because like all the big time players showed up that game, right?
Yeah.
Thomas Spurbeck, Jay, obviously for sure. I mean,
Chaz, the long touchdown.
Yeah. Dante had a pick six,
a couple picks that game, right? He had about 2 or something.
Darius. Geez.
And then you had Tanner Vallejo having the game of his life.
Big game Bob with the sack.
Bob came in clutch. I tell you what, that game collectively, we played
total
together.
Team win, absolutely.
Grant Hedrick was on fire. Shout out to Grant.
Yeah.
He was one of the, I'm not biased, but one of my most favorite quarterbacks to play with because of his attitude and his approach to the game never changed. He was a consistent person across the board, and I
don't want to leave anybody out. I think Troy Ware made a big play.
Yes.
Because I can think of so many guys that were John Moxie had a big play in that. I mean, all these different guys that like stood up when their number was called and just made a play. Now, we're riding the back of Jay for a while, and then he got hurt. But so many guys. It was just such a fun team to be a part of, and
that game felt like a movie.
Yeah, and the whole season, even after that Air Force game, I mean, we kind of knew we couldn't lose, but all we could control was the next game. And I mean, there were some barn burners that, like I said, the New Mexico game that might have been 500 yards on both sides, and all you got to do is have one more stop than the other team, right? And or one more score, I mean, I think we won another game like 7-0. So, that was a lot of fun.
I know. And it's been proven too that when Boise State's back's against the wall, they find a way. So we're in the same position right now.
Yes, we do.
let's just keep it going.
Yeah, my back's against the wall right now. And we always find a way.
Yeah, we do. It's going to be awesome, man. Let's see, we got some good questions about Grant.
Most underrated QB in BSU history. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I would say Grant never really got the credit because Grant was never that guy to ask for the credit.
No question.
He was never the guy in the media talking about himself. He was always talking about his teammates, trying to help his teammates, encouraging his teammates. And I tell you what, he's just a great dude. And actually, we ran into him the last alumni thing we had here.
Yeah.
So good to see him. We saw Coach PK here.
Yeah.
Too. He's doing well out in Texas. But I love my guys, man.
Yeah. It was crazy because that was the first time I met him was at the alumni. And I'm talking to him. Didn't really know who he was. He wasn't talking about himself. He's like, I'm Grant. And I was like, what? I was like, bro, you're the man. Like, I was watching you when I was a kid.
So
like,
good.
This is crazy.
Such
He's
an
a good
underrated
dude.
athlete. You know,
Yeah.
well, I think like the San Diego State game, you know, we kind of doctored one up for he ran the ball for a key first down in the game, kept them from getting the ball back. I mean, guy, I think is so many different plays over the years with all these guys, but yeah, Grant for sure. I mean, we could put up together a pretty good list of quarterbacks have been through here. And argue
QB
which
wall.
one's been. Kellen maybe was not the most underrated. Other than that, everybody else probably a little bit.
No doubt.
Hey, I tell you what, though, too, that year, my defensive line that we played with, I mean, you look across the board, I mean, Tyler Horn, Sam McCaskill, Rob Ash, JT, my boy JT Tamatuya. I mean, all those guys collectively across the board, we fought together, we played together, and I think that year we were very productive with, obviously in the backfield, we had Dante, Darian, Moxie, Tanner. I mean, if you think about it, Leighton Vander Esch barely played on that team, and that's not a knock, right? But it's like that just shows how much talent we
Armand
really had.
Nance was part of the crew in there,
Ben Weaver,
yep,
Tyler Gray. I mean,
T. Gray for sure.
We had a very, very good team, and I'm glad we finished off the way we did.
No doubt,
sure.
No doubt. And I think, like I said, I mean, I know I'm a homer and the whole deal, but I see a lot of the similarities with these guys. I know these guys, they believe in each other. They believe in their coaches. The coaches believe in them. I just think there's going to be a lot of good things that happen over the course of the season. I mean, we got a lot of talent out there. And, you know, does some of it get masked up a little bit when you're playing a team like Notre Dame? Yeah, because you know what? They got a lot of talent. And those are games, obviously, we want to win. And it's a big deal. And we will win in those games eventually. We'll keep competing. But, you know, I mean, let's not get down on who we are just because we lost to a great team. It's awesome to think we want to win those games. We should win those games. We've won them in the past. Like all that's true, and it doesn't diminish the fact that we're going to eventually. So,
no doubt. Talk a little bit about your experience going from Boise State into the NFL. A lot of fans don't necessarily understand the process. I mean, myself included. I've been there.
I didn't either when it happened, brother.
So kind of talk through the process and your experience of making that transition to the stage.
First off, man, I left early as a junior, and that was a hard decision for me to leave. And I say it was hard because personally, financially, my family was never in a position of success. We were not very financially well off and stable, and that's always been my drive to provide for my family. So when the opportunity really presented itself, I really had to look in the mirror and understand what was more important here.
Right.
But I was super blessed and fortunate to even have that opportunity to leave early. But when I did, I tell you what, I always tell kids I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I thought I was ready, but I wasn't even close.
Mm-hmm.
I was a young, immature kid that thought he knew everything in the world.
as 99% of
right?
not just in the locker room, but on college campuses, right?
Yeah. No, you think you're the man, and then you get there and you walk into a locker room of Terrell Suggs, Elvis Dumerville, Joe Flacco, Marshall Yonda, Eric Weddle, Jimmy Smith. I mean, Brandon Williams. I could name guys for days, and I got absolutely humbled when I got there. And I wasn't ready. I wasn't confident in myself. So the glitz and glamour seemed well, the second round pick and blah, blah, blah. Honestly, to be honest with you, I wish I was a free agent sometimes, because that underdog mentality will always bring the best out of you.
Right.
And I thought being a second round pick, everything was solidified, and it's my job. And I actually got beat out by the defensive coordinator for the Ravens now. His name's Zach Orr.
Zach Orr.
Yeah. He was a
North
free
Texas
agent.
free agent coach.
Dude, and shout out to my boy Zach. He was he pushed me so hard, but he was a guy that had that underdog mentality, and he took my job my rookie year, and I had to learn the hard way that my first game against Buffalo Bills, I was inactive. Had no clue. I was up in the week on the depth chart, and I thought I was going to get in the game and roll, and I showed up to the stadium and there were sweats in my locker. And yeah, it was a very humbling experience, and I never really caught my grip in the NFL until about my third year when I got traded to Tennessee. Yeah, was when I really started to catch some steam. And I'm super grateful for all those opportunities to have played for these great organizations, but I didn't really get a hold of things until I was with Coach Vrabel in Tennessee. Yeah. And it was a crazy experience coming from Honolulu, Hawaii, living in Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah. The city life was different. I was young. My wife at the time was having a kid. We were a young couple. So on and off the field, it was a struggle. Right. It was not what people think it is. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah,
we didn't
Baltimore,
have
like you're living downtown, right? Because
dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous. Yeah. Stay out of the streets in Baltimore. I tell you what.
The Wire, no joke, right?
Yes. Oh, it's serious out there. And it was just a wake-up call for me, man. It was like, dude, it's time to put your big boy pants on and be a husband, be a father, be a provider. And this football stuff wasn't a game anymore. It was business, right? And it was work.
It's funny you say, like, hey, I wasn't probably ready enough. I wasn't mature, but like staying here another year might not change that a whole bunch anyway, right? I mean,
the hindsight's 20/20 on that, right?
Yeah, I mean, and not that. I would say this: you were very much a professional while you were here. You took care of business, handled business. I mean, it's not like that.
Hey, I had good coaches.
You did.
This right here.
I don't know about
this.
That,
is my guy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you had a lot of other.
He took great care of me. I tell you. That.
No, but in all seriousness, like as you stay here for that year, I mean, we would all love to have you. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's like, well, you're never going to be ready. Right. I think Dylan Gabriel, who you probably have crossed paths with. Yes. Yeah. But, said it best, like if you sit around, wait till the perfect moment, wait till you're ready, it may never come. Right. So sometimes you just got to jump on it. In your situation, obviously, we all understood it. And I think about the year before, it was like Jay could have come back, but it's like, for what purpose?
You're exactly right. Yeah. The hindsight's 20/20. At the end of the day, I look at the grand scheme of things and that I could set my family up for the future. And I didn't know I was having a child at the time, but having been able to play at that level and to be financially stable right now is truly a blessing. And I'm forever indebted to the game of football for that.
No doubt. Sure. No doubt. It's pretty cool stuff. And like you said, God's got a plan too.
Yes, he does, brother. And it's not always football.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not always football. I tell you what, life is so much bigger than football that I'm realizing outside, just like we talked about earlier.
I was just going to say, we had a good talk. Like, football's a great tool, right?
Yeah.
And when you learn, well, I'll let you say it, but like when you have the freedom, sometimes you become a better player. Right?
Exactly. Yeah, no, it all goes down to the little things. And I think at Boise State, across the staff, I mean, starting from Coach Pete to Coach Harsin to you guys, it's just like keeping the main thing and treating people right and going into, the training room and treating your trainers right. Yeah. Having conversations with people and just being a good dude goes a lot further than being a good football player. Yeah. And I'll always hold dear to that. That's what I tell my boys at Coal Valley is like, how you do anything is how you do everything.
For sure.
And that approach to, your pre-practice habits to post-practice recovery to going home and just doing your laundry when your laundry got to be done. Like the things that no one sees. but it really matters.
Right.
And it compounds in a negative way if you don't take care of it.
No doubt. Taking care of when you're in high school or college, taking care of your classwork, right?
Yeah.
Because in the NFL, that becomes your classwork becomes
That's school 24/7,
right?
coach. Yes, 24/7.
Yeah, it's like, hey, did you not know they were going to do that?
And it's not the coach's fault at the next level. I tell you that.
Right.
It's up to you to get it right.
Yeah, and now it's cool. You're passing all that down to some kids, and they're going to take it on to their college careers, and they don't play football into their families. Like you're learning all that stuff.
Just habits, right? Learning good habits. Yeah.
No doubt.
Well, it's been a humbling experience. I tell you what, because coaching football, just because you know everything or you have the information, that doesn't make you a good coach. And I realized that so quick in our first few weeks, actually.
It doesn't matter if you know what to do. It's if they know what to do.
100%.
Right?
And it's like, why don't you know your drop here? Like, it's cover 3. What are you doing? Like, relate to this guy. And they're looking at you wide-eyed, right? So being a coach and being a player, it's taught me so much more. I mean, especially patience. It's like you have to articulate it in a way where the kid can actually grasp the information and use it. You can't just tell them to do something and expect them to do it. It doesn't work like that. So coaching has been very, very humbling for me.
Yeah. Red did a good job of that. He knew how to get it to us to where we're like, all right. Because he would cover 30 plays in 5 minutes at the end of our meetings, and we would somehow figure it out.
Time is of the essence.
Just like you're saying, Coach Red had a blessing to be able to
you got to know where to
that.
spend your time, right?
Exactly,
Because there's a lot of stuff that's very complicated and a lot of different looks.
For sure.
Whatever. There's a lot of stuff.
Skipped all the pass plays.
There's a lot of stuff that's like you're running a seam. Because we all know how to do that, right?
Yeah, the time management, man, like you said, especially at the next level. Time management was a huge thing for me. We would go into meetings and have like 3 minutes to get out to practice.
Yeah.
So if you weren't dressed in meetings, taped up, ready to get to practice, like you're gonna fall behind.
Yeah.
Well,
time management is crucial.
I think of going back to like tight end meetings. A lot of it was, hey, you've had the pictures for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like we don't have time to spend on that because we're gonna have to spend 40 of 45 minutes on the run game and make sure we don't get embarrassed in that area.
Yes.
Because the rest of it is kind of running around. And then we would go back on Thursdays and cover like, hey, what this is going to look like against different coverages. Or
the only ones we would hit was our touchdown plays.
Oh, yeah.
We ran
Always.
it wrong in walkthroughs. Carson pulling it. I was like, Red, we better go over this 5 times before we touch the field.
Absolutely. Walk through those. We made sure we got those right.
But
yeah, no, it's definitely up to the players too. It's like, how much are you willing to do outside of the meetings? How much are you willing to do?
Well, I think about you guys on defense. Like, I mean, you guys would be in there from Sunday after practice or what, like all
Coach
the way
Yates
through.
and Coach Avalos didn't play around.
Till like Tuesday morning, like, and know, like, hey, when we get this formation, that's what's coming. Like, you guys were so dialed on that. That was
it was all that extra
remarkable
stuff. And I
me.
still remember the days when we used to go to the rec center, me, Tanner, and JT, and a couple of those guys, we would get extra work constantly. We're always watching film. After practices, we would go to Panda Express, same Panda downtown, grab some food and head back upstairs and watch some ball. And we just cared and we wanted it really bad, and it showed. So,
and I think a cool thing about football too, going back to trying to fit it all in meetings, is we set most of the rules in fall camp and spring ball and practice. Like you said, like running a seam, we could run a seam against any defense that shows up, and we learned that back in January. And then, but the run game, that's where it comes a little harder. You have your rules, but it's a million different looks, and you're like, how are we going to pull this off? So it's kind of cool behind the scenes of how you go through those meetings and teach it.
And the
not
same
only
thing on
that
defense,
day,
right? Like you have all the stuff like you could do easily. Like, hey, we know how to handle that, but there's 5 or 10 things like, hey, this team's different. We're gonna have to tweak this a little bit. You're using this technique instead of this one you would normally use. I think
that football IQ is something else, and it's something that is learned over time. It doesn't come overnight. And the more you watch ball, the more you're around ball, the more you're just going to understand ball and what teams are trying to do. And when you truly love something and you're truly passionate about something, it naturally just kind of comes to you.
Yeah.
When you're not, it tends to be a lot harder. And I just had a love and a knack for the game, and this is my way out. And I just exhausted everything I could to understand the game of football.
Well, I think here at Boise State, from the time Dirk was the head coach until now, that's something everybody's really proud of, right? And it takes a little bit. There's very few guys that come in here and just understand it all. There are a few, like Avery Williams, like God bless him. Yes. Like that guy probably could have been coaching from the time he was day one. Or Kala, there's been Riley's certainly a guy I think of like that. There's been some guys, Brett Rippon, Ryan Dinwiddie, some of those guys, but by the time everybody leaves here, I think there's at least a baseline. Like everybody at least knows this much and this much and this much. And I'm sure when you get to the NFL, though, you get some rookies coming out of other programs that really struggled to figure some of that stuff out, right?
I tell you what, the guys that would come out of Alabama were not a joke. Those guys came prepared. Yeah. They were dialed in, and they, like, two guys just kind of come to the top of my head were C.J. Mosley and Marlon Humphrey. Mm-hmm. Those guys, I tell you what, they came into the NFL ready and prepared, and they just understood football at a very, very high level. And just things you can't teach.
Right.
They had tangibles. It's just that's why they are in the position where they are.
No doubt.
Can't just rely on the talent.
No.
And we won't ask you to signal anybody else up. But I'm sure you saw some other guys. You're like, oh yeah, you don't know that?
Oh yeah, for sure. And that was myself, my rookie year. I tell you that much. I was wide-eyed, man. I was like, what is happening? I tell you what, my first game against the Detroit Lions, I was on kickoff return. First NFL game ever been to was
kickoff
the one
return,
I played
no joke in the NFL.
Coach, you already know the special teams is no joke. And I got absolutely demolished on kickoff return. And I got my lights lit up and put on my back. And that was my welcome to the NFL moment. And I was like, I need to buckle up and get rolling here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we got a fan question. Say your name and fire away, man.
It's regular Doug. Question. Or I guess going to the Boise State blue collar mentality. You mentioned when you went to the NFL, you kind of rode that, second round draft pick and you lost starting position.
Yeah.
You feel like, I don't know, maybe you got some players coming into, the new recruits coming into Boise State, thinking they've hit their high peak, like they're almost kind of going to Alabama where, this was their school versus, hey, I was going to go to Oregon, going to go Washington, but Boise State offered me, and I'm going to prove to those guys you should have picked me.
Right. Yeah, no, I think first and foremost, I can't speak for anyone else but myself, but when someone has an opportunity, it's what you do with the opportunity, whether it's Oregon, Alabama, Boise State, Colorado State, a D2, NAIA. It's just like what you do with your opportunity is completely up to you, and you have to look yourself in the mirror at night and sleep well with, are you exhausting everything that you possibly can in this opportunity? And, I was that kid. I wanted offers from Notre Dame and Florida and all these big universities, and Boise State did have that blue collar chip mentality where I rode that wave, and Coach Pete recruiting me did a tremendous job of keeping the main thing, line in the weeds. Don't worry about the distractions. Focus on the important things. Like I still remember we used to get class checked, right? Like during the weeks, like going to class, doing the right thing, treat people right, do your homework, stay out of trouble. Like nothing really changes. And I think when you're able to handle the things off the field and handle all those pressures that you're getting from all that noise, when you handle those things correctly, football becomes easy, just like we talked about earlier, Coach. It's like the football becomes fun, you play free, and when you don't handle those little things, like, again, I go back to laundry because I don't know about you fellas, I don't like doing laundry. That's just me. But having a guy like Dale, shout out to Dale, he would do your laundry for us, right? So that was one thing you never even had to worry about. So it's like just taking care of the things you had to take care of and being prepared to show up and do your job. It's just everything kind of flows after that, for sure.
Well, I know one thing Coach Pete and Coach Harris always just talk about was like, I think you said it, simplifying your life, right? Like you can't have 500 distractions. Like if you're out of practice and you're worried because you got a test that night, you haven't studied for it, and it's like well, how are you going to be good at practice? That's a lost day.
Yes.
But if you've taken care of business, not every now and then your mind might like, oh yeah, you got to test tonight.
Right.
But for the most part, you're not sitting there worrying about it, and you're focused on what you're doing. It's a be here now mentality, right?
And it's cool, like going back to what you said, is like when you make those decisions outside of the football field, you don't realize that it's actually applying on the field. Like we talk about doing the difficult right over the easy wrong, and it's like you doing your laundry, especially when you don't want to. When you're on the field, you're going to go pursue, even though the ball's across the field. And it's like, you're like, I didn't even think that correlated. But the coaches do a good job of like making you a better person, and it translates without knowing. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah, it becomes second nature.
Yeah, it really
and
does.
The biggest thing that I really take, especially from Coach Harsin, we had a team meeting one day, and this will always stick with me. He always says, don't think you know you know.
Yeah.
And when he said that, I don't know what it is. There's always that coach that says something and just sticks with you forever. And that stuck with me. And it was like, don't think you know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
No, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't think you did that, or don't think you studied well enough. Like, no, you studied well enough. And that was the thing I always take with me, even still to this day.
No doubt. Yeah. You got any other coaching quotes that stuck with you forever? Because I got some too. It's crazy to think about it.
Not so positive ones, I tell you that much. That was probably the most positive one I got. I tell you what, though, all my coaches that I've ran across my whole life, I'm super grateful now looking back at the game for how much effort and energy they've poured into me, especially one guy that just kind of really resonates is Coach Avalos. Yeah. Coach Avalos poured his heart and soul into me personally.
Absolutely.
And
I was your position coach
early
on.
He coached me hard. He wanted me to quit so many times, and he never
really.
Hey, what I mean? But he brought the best out of me.
Yeah.
And sometimes it never looked that way to other people, but I have a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Avalos and what he did for me,
for sure,
personally, on and off the field. And yeah, just coaches like that. You, Coach Ridd, Coach Caldwell, Coach Harsin. I could go on for days. I mean, Coach
back to high
Harbaugh,
school, I'm sure, right?
Even back to high school. I had a youth baseball coach, Coach Brad Nueku. He was an all-time favorite of mine because he was a mechanic. He was just hard-nosed, blue-collar, showed up for his boys week in and week out. He would show up to practice just black stained all over.
Yeah.
And just taught us what grit was at an early age, and we were the Braves. That's why I love the Braves.
I love it. Yeah,
yeah. I'm just thankful for all my coaches, man. Because now being a coach,
that's what I was going to say.
The exhaustion and the effort where you're just trying to get one thing out of the kid. Yeah. And it's worth every second.
Well, and the reality of it is, especially in your situation, right? I'm sure they're paying you millions to coach at Coal Valley.
So much.
But how easy it would be just to be like, oh man, I don't really feel like it tonight, but you're committed to be there, so you're there because that's all you really know how, right?
Yeah, no, the kids really enjoy it. I make handshakes with the boys. I really try to develop real relationships.
Yeah.
And have intimate conversations with them about like what's happening off the field, because I understand what it's like to not have it figured out at that age.
Right.
And you just need a little bit of nudging. You need a little bit of guidance to just get you back on track. You don't need to be, some micromanager and staying on them, but a simple word and a simple love here and there or a handshake goes a long way for these young boys.
Without question.
And there's even a question in here from Robbie that says, in your Boise State career, if you had difficult things you needed to talk to about, did you feel comfortable going to coaches or teammates?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
First and foremost was my teammates. I mean, our locker room was special.
Mm-hmm.
We had guys across the board. You could talk to anybody from Grant to JT to, a guy that a lot of people sleep on is Darian Thompson. Darian Thompson was an absolute
man.
He was an incredible teammate because he was a lot smarter than people.
Now coaching himself.
Yeah.
Coaching the Cowboys.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And he also had a tremendous career in the NFL too.
Absolutely.
Right.
Guys,
and go ahead.
No, he's just one of the best players. I've been around best people. I mean, that guy's a freaking stud. It shocks no one that he's like an NFL coach now.
Yes. Yeah, no, the locker room was special. So I would go to those guys first. But, man, just being able to go into Coach Ridd's off and, and say I'm going to kick the crap out of the tight ends today. That was our conversation.
Yeah,
right?
no, for sure.
I go to Coach Caldwell and said, you better be in study hall today. It's like, I think each coach had a special relationship. Like, Coach Yates would be like, dude, just go play, dude.
Yeah.
Just go be great.
No doubt.
And each coach had their thing. But I tell you what, my teammates really helped push me through hard times. And because we would go out together, we would spend time and barbecue and float the river and do, the Boise State things that we did. And I tell you what, without my teammates, I wouldn't be where I'm at today for sure. Because I wanted to transfer my first year.
Yeah.
And
it's a real shot coming from Honolulu, Hawaii, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
and then Coach Pete left, and I was a young freshman, like, what's happening? I need to get out of here. And
now
my boys, like, man, my freshman class, I mean, especially Tanner Vallejo, that's one of my best friends. He's been with me since day one, and we're still very close to this day. And me and him just had this connection where we just really pushed each other day in and day out, and on and off the field. When we play hard, but when we partied hard too. Come on. Absolutely.
That's the secret recipe.
That's the recipe.
That's how you win Fiesta Bowls.
Yeah. You can't always party hard and expect to play hard. It's
Right.
like you got to have a balance for sure.
Exactly.
I don't condone those things anymore, but I'm just trying to be honest with my life.
Yes, for sure.
well,
For sure.
hey, the reality is maybe party hard is not the right phrasing, but
Party smart.
you gotta have something where you turn off football.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I know we talked about how much it is a job in the NFL and how much time you have to spend in college and all that stuff, but you really should have some balance in your life where you shut the football down for a few minutes, whether it's a few minutes a night or one night a week or something where it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't have to be party hard. It could be whatever, but that's something that, if you're all football all the time, eventually there's a chink in the armor a little bit, and it becomes something you can resent a little bit, and you're not functioning at 100%.
100%.
But
I
if you do have some kind of release and get away from it, and for a lot of guys, it's a girlfriend or wife or whatever.
Yeah.
We were talking about that kind of before everybody came up, but the best guys in the NFL are the guys that are like, yeah, now what?
Yep.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, it didn't phase them because they had the things off the field dialed.
Yeah.
Right.
And I tell you, one teammate that really comes to mind was Ben Watson. Ben Watson was a man of faith. He was a huge encouragement for me in Baltimore. A little small story was when my daughter was born out in Cleveland. This was during a game, and I missed my daughter's birth. And Ben Watson stayed with me in the locker room the whole time. He held my hand. He prayed over me. He prayed over my wife. He walked out with me out to the game. And moments like that is what I really cherish and what I always take to my grave with me. And just the utmost
special,
respect for
right?
guys like
Absolutely.
that. Absolutely. But I do wish I seen my daughter born.
Yeah.
It was on FaceTime and said, honey, gotta go. See you later. I had the worst game of my life after that, by the way.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and
My mind wasn't
Your mind
there.
was somewhere
no,
else.
it's funny that you mentioned something like that because it really is. It's tough as football players, coaches, whatever. Like we think, I could never miss something to do something else, and it's like, you know what? At the end, and maybe the pandemic or whatever kind of taught us that like, hey, some guys just aren't going to be here.
Yeah.
Like it's not because they don't want to be. It's not because of whatever. Just is what it is. So somebody better pick up the flag and keep marching.
No doubt.
No, the sacrifices are real.
It really is.
That's for sure. You do sacrifice a lot for the game of football, but I tell you what, I would do it over and over again.
Agreed. And that's when the coaches and your teammates become your family. Like, you barely go in for Christmas or Thanksgiving, or you get pretty much a month and a half a year. Like this becomes your family. Like even you guys, your families are out here, but you spend 90% of your time with us knuckleheads. So it's like we become your kids. Like it's crazy how
it really is.
tight you get through those sacrifices and
having to do it. I think that's one thing that people just might be the most consistent vacation time you get, right?
Yeah. Yep.
As a player, from whenever finals. So let's say May 5th until Memorial Day. Like that's, something you can kind of count on. Like you get a little free time, but
just trying to get the early exams.
Yeah, exactly. But Christmas is all bowl game, playoff, dependent. Like, you know, you probably can get, if you're having a good year, you're not getting a lot of time.
There is no off season.
Yeah.
No, they're never off season.
Because on January 12th, it's rolling again.
You're right back at it. And you're running them stadium decks.
Yeah, you can't take a long vacation.
Can't avoid the stadium decks.
Even during COVID, I remember we were taking pictures of us working out and sending it in. And there was no off time.
Oh, that was a crazy I actually saw those pictures the other day.
Did you?
Yeah,
the winners,
I got a picture of
there's some good
JB,
ones of OJ.
Curlin the dog, Winston, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You got to find a way.
Yeah,
they were good, dude.
There was some good stuff.
We got to leak some of those pictures. We might get some people in trouble.
Yeah. We might already hit on this, but Doug wanted to know what play did you make during your career that stands out to you, or maybe it's a couple. Like,
here in college or in the pros?
Either one.
All the above.
I would say for sure that Fiesta Bowl. That was just a special game all around. Like, not only for myself, everyone.
But to have the walk-off sack, right? That's pretty cool.
That was a special moment.
Yeah.
I'm definitely always going to treasure that.
I remember it, so I hope you do.
Oh, I definitely do, Coach. No, I'm super thankful for that. I would say in the NFL, probably our AFC Championship game against the Chiefs in 2019. That was a special game. I'm not going to toot my horn, but I led the team in tackles and sacks that game, and that was probably one of my best NFL games collectively, just from start to finish. And then before that game, we went over – actually, let me rewind. So that playoff season, we played the Patriots. That was Tom Brady's last season as a Patriot.
Wow.
Went into Foxborough, beat them. That whole season was just special. We were 8-8 with a wild card bid.
Yeah.
No one counted us in.
Yeah.
So we went into Foxborough, beat Tom Brady's last game. Then we went back to Baltimore where I was drafted. Special game. We played lights out. We beat Lamar. We sent him home. Then we went into Kansas City, and we was on this spree, and we were so close. Came down to the last quarter.
I remember.
But that little stretch of that time in 2019 was probably my most memorable time of my career for sure. We were playing high-level ball with just good dudes. We had a solid team around us, and we were about 2 or 3 plays away from a Super Bowl. So, yeah, I definitely lose sleep over that some nights for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's
crazy.
There's a good one. I mean, you just named like half of the future NFL Hall of Famers coming.
Right.
Like who was maybe the best guy, and who was your favorite guy to play against? It doesn't have to be quarterback. I mean, obviously you mentioned 3, but
I would probably say Lamar Jackson. So that year Lamar was drafted was that off season before I got traded to Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I seen him come out to a first practice, and he ran all over the first team defense. And that's when I knew. I was like, this kid is absolutely legit. Not to mention he's a tremendous human being too.
For sure.
That dude was special. But I was so lucky enough to play with so many great guys. But especially Baltimore. I think Baltimore just has this rich history of players and bringing people back. And that whole organization top down was legit. Honestly, I was just grateful for whatever team that was cutting the check for me. I was going to go and play and give my whole effort.
Yeah.
So
it's got to be awesome, dude. Especially you're talking about that playoff run. That's
that was
that's living
Tom
the
Brady,
dream,
Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes.
That's wild.
That's pretty cool to stand out, tell people like, oh yeah, I played against Pat.
Yeah.
No, I sacked him the first play of that game too. That was pretty cool.
That is pretty awesome. What was your favorite stadium you played in?
I would probably say Baltimore.
I was going to say Baltimore on the inner harbor right there.
That's loud.
I put my last game in Army was at that stadium, Army Navy game.
Oh, that M&T Bank is it gets up. The fans don't play.
It's such a cool location. And
Well, and then you have Terrell Suggs with his walkout song, and the stadium just goes absolutely haywire for it.
That's crazy.
Well, you just really just missed Ray Lewis, really, right?
Just missed him.
Yeah. Just that one had to be pretty good too.
Yeah. I tell you what, Suggs was right up there with him too. He was a special player.
That's awesome, man. Let's see if we got any last. We got a couple more minutes. Any last questions?
Oh, someone wants to know what hat you got.
Oh, I got the Broncos hat on.
Oh yeah,
Broncos.
rocking it, dude.
Yes, sir.
Also, I saw one in there. Empty. Just decorations.
Oh, here's a good question.
Yeah.
Is there any player that worked harder than you at Boise State?
Oh, at Boise State? Dude, absolutely. We had just guys across the board that we would push each other.
Yeah.
Like, it was a constant.
Sam Mack
was an absolute blue collar grinder.
Yeah.
Sam didn't play around.
T-Horn, same.
Yes.
Yeah.
From their diet to off-season training to
Yep.
I was like, dude, you guys are weird. Like, why do you guys do so much? You know, I'm like, chill. Because I was always that guy, like, dude, can we just go to my house and barbecue?
Yeah, right.
Like, I want to eat and chill. Right.
DT was another guy, I think, like just leading the work.
Across
And then
the board.
like Dante. I mean, Dante was like always first and everything, but he
was
did weigh
special.
150 pounds.
He
so
was
like
special.
him running the decks wasn't quite as hard.
Yeah, that's
you running
fair.
the decks. But he would be laughing the whole way.
Yes. Nothing was hard for that guy.
No.
I'll tell you what, he made everything look easy.
Yeah.
Dude, I still remember he used to eat like Chick-fil-A and McDonald's before practice.
I
Not
know.
gain weight and go out and absolutely ball.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
was
it
like,
sounds like a couple guys.
this kid's just special.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
Offensively, I think, guys like
Marcus Henry,
yeah.
Reese Odiambo.
Reese.
I mean, Jay, we had a young Jeremy
Yeah.
McNichols, Grant.
Yeah.
You had a young Ryan Finley. I mean, Chaz Anderson, just dudes that wanted greatness.
Thomas Spurbeck, Matt Miller.
Thomas, you still have no swag, buddy. But that is my guy. I love me some Spurbeck. That's actually my neighbor in Harris Ranch. Hey, I love you, Tommy.
I think about like Jay. Even I was thinking about that the other day when I was watching practice. But a guy that like, I think everybody had this perception. Maybe Jay didn't grind quite as hard as everybody else. That guy,
he was a grinder.
Like the way he had to take care of his body because of what we did to it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like he would be out there, 20 minutes before practice started. He used to do it inside, and then we had to move it outside. But he'd be out there like getting a full sweat going on the bike, and all that stuff. And then he had to be good enough to like practice. Yep. But we didn't practice him a whole bunch.
It was like that was at Madison.
Coach's decision. Yeah. Like, hey, go stand over there because you're about to take 40 hits on Saturday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Week in and week out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, it's but I think it's so many different guys. I mean, and it's everybody pushing each other, right? It's like, why
iron
can't like
sharpens
Kamalei outwork me?
Oh, the guys would hold each other accountable across the board from, the Ben Weavers to Tyler Grays to I always bring up Tanner because we just had a special relationship.
Yeah.
And
the man Mike Leach said his team was afraid of.
Right.
So
yes. The guys, it's just hard to explain. Like, you really have to experience what Boise State is like.
Right.
You've been in the locker room. Coach. You've seen it for yourself. And this program is just rich in that blue collar mentality. It's not a fake. It's not a lie or a facade. Like, we truly embrace the grit and the grind. And when you go through the fire, it's worth every second of it.
And it's been passed down. I mean, I see guys today like Cage Casey, on the team now out there grinding, being the leader. Ashton last year. I mean, 10 guys when you were playing. I mean, Talon when he was here.
Yeah.
Like
it was,
just
kept going.
Yeah. There's so many guys that I don't want to miss anybody, but it's like everybody, Riley and DJ out there when they were captains leading the thing. I mean, there's so many guys out there, but everybody's pushing each other. And it might be somebody, maybe back then it was Marco was a freshman and now he's the guy leading the charge.
That's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see how we make it fun. Like, it's not like we're just yelling at each other all day. Like, I remember with Talon and Ashton, we'd be doing the broad jumps, and every single time we were doing it, see who could get the furthest. And Talon was just like stepping out there, and Ashton's little short himself would beat Talon. And he would not let him forget about it for the rest of the week. Bro. It was like, we were having fun. We were competing, making it into games, and competitions, and that's just what drives us at Boise State. Like you said, it's real. It's real.
It's real.
It's not just talk.
Nope.
Here's like a couple decent questions here we can kind of wind it down on, but just what kind of what are your opinions about the NIL and players getting paid, and
Man, you put me on the spot, coach.
Yeah.
No, we're good.
no, I mean it's there's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
Because it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I think with this landscape now, you know, it's like I tell my nephew, he's a starting linebacker down at Purdue, and he's getting compensated very well. And I say that because I just go, what a tremendous opportunity. I don't knock these kids having opportunities, having deals, you know, from the car deals, especially.
Right. Yeah.
The car deals from even some so small. I look back and just say, man, free Qdoba every now and then. Right?
Yeah.
But these kids having an opportunity, I don't knock it at all.
Right.
It's what they do with the opportunity and who's helping navigate. I do think there's a lot of third parties that are involved in this thing that they don't always have the best interest as the players.
Without a doubt.
Right.
That's the scary thing about this whole deal, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of people know there's money involved and just trying to get their foot in the door, get their hand in there and get their piece of the pie. And
and
that's the
agents
scary part.
specifically.
Yep.
Right.
Well, and not even, I think this is probably a good thing to help educate some people on, but the NFL agent is probably a lot different than a lot of the guys representing college guys, right?
Yes, 100%. I mean, the landscape from that is night and day difference.
Talk to them about a little bit about an NFL agent, just kind of what they go through to even get to that point.
Yeah. So first and foremost, the agent's main priority is to have the best interest for the player on and off the field, regardless of if the player is right or wrong. Like the agent should have the player's back regardless. Agents do get compensated. My agent got 3% of my contract,
which is pretty standard in the NFL,
pretty
right?
standard, but they negotiate, they do a lot. If I needed anything off the field, as far as like a massage being booked or a flight for me and my wife in the off season, getting hotels scheduled, like everything off the field, I never had to worry about. Endorsements, my deal with Nike. I mean, all of these small things I was super grateful for. One thing the agent can't do for you is go out and play the game of football. And I think at the end of the day, regardless of all these opportunities, NIL is like keeping the main thing. Like football is football.
Yeah.
The money ain't going to save you. The agent ain't going to save you. You got to go out there and prepare like you're broke.
Yeah.
And you got to have that chip on your shoulder and that fire to go and prove your worth. Like just because you got it, that doesn't mean you're worth that.
Yeah.
That just means somebody had a little bit extra for you.
Right.
And it's like, you got to go out there and prove yourself day in and day out. So my advice to any high school athlete, collegiate athlete is, yes, take advantage of your opportunity, but don't lose sight of the main thing. Like football is football, regardless of NAIA, junior college, D1, NFL, XFL. It doesn't matter. Football is football, and you got to go out and execute at a high level and play hard for your brothers.
Absolutely.
Simple. And the money will come.
Yes.
I think that's the best thing.
The best way to put it.
And especially like you're saying, there's a lot of people. You just got to be cautious of who you're surrounding yourself with, right?
Yeah. Just surround yourself with people that genuinely care about you and not always speaking money first. They're speaking like what's best for you all around. Like, a guy like Ashton, he could have left and departed and got paid a crazy amount of money, right? But he chose to stick it out and get paid what he was getting compensated well, from my understanding, but he wasn't looking at that. He was looking further beyond that because the money will come, and it came for him. He was a number 6 pick overall and got compensated very well.
Absolutely.
But he thugged it out and he went out and played football.
Yes.
Yep.
And everything he was a Heisman finalist.
Yep. No, I think you're exactly right. And the reality of it is, at the end of the day, this is what it is. And that's what we're
that's one of my players.
That's what we're dealing with now. So hey, love to see Boise State pay as much as Alabama in the future. I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen in the next year or two, but hey, that's a goal, right?
Yeah.
So donate.
If there's any boosters out there.
That's a good point.
We got
we got the players, boys. Keep balling out.
Yep.
Got a good coach for real.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Kennedy.
Well, last one. Hey, somebody just wanted to know if you miss playing on the blue.
Absolutely, man. The blue is special. You know, I would say my last year when we lost to Air Force and New Mexico State at home, Coach. You remember that? I think it was 2015.
Yeah,
absolutely. Those back-to-back losses. Yeah, that was a stinger because that was one of my last games here on the blue. But the blue
still hurts, right?
It stings even still to this day. But the blue is special. Sometimes you can't really articulate it in a way you want to, but running out of that tunnel, you know, bro.
Yeah,
running out with your boys, all blue on the blue, night game, lights on. It's that. There's
feeling.
No words to explain. It was special, and I'm super proud to be a former Boise State player. Yeah, man, I don't know. I love Boise State.
Well,
that's why I live here.
We're fired up to have you be a Boise Bronco. Somebody said it. Well, we'll have to be checking on
the
that.
chaos flag? Hey, as soon as I get a call, I'll answer.
I'm guessing this might help you get a call. We'll help you push for that.
Get it in the works.
Yeah.
He needs it, no doubt.
No, this is we're proud to have you be a Bronco. Once a Bronco, always a Bronco, and
absolutely
appreciate you giving your time and taking time to tell stories here.
Well, I appreciate you
I
guys.
saw one other question. Finn, he's fired up about this one. It's the second time, but
yeah,
any tips to start a sports radio show? Call BJ.
Call BJ.
Hey, I wish I could help you there, but
I really don't know. We just come up here and tell some stories, and hopefully people like them. So
do
some research and just start
BJ,
talking.
Call BJ, call Mike Prater, call Johnny Ballgame.
Yeah,
talk to those guys.
Right.
See if they can help you out with that.
No doubt. Yes, sir.
But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your time, Kamalei.
Thank you, Jacksons.
Thank you, Jacksons. Make sure Saturday we're packing the stadium. Stop by Jacksons, pick up your supplies.
Come on.
Get out here early. Looks like we were going to have a little rain, but it looks like it's early in the day now. So it's going to be beautiful football weather. Let's get out here and cheer these boys on because New Mexico, Coach Eckel have these guys ready to play. I think their biggest loss was last week to San Jose, but before that was Michigan by a couple, and they beat UCLA, who dominated Penn State.
That game was wild.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Anyway, no, thanks for everybody, and thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Go Broncos.
appreciate you guys having me. Hey, Coach, if I could say one last thing. Again, super fortunate to be here. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Riley, for just talking. But again, I just want to shed light on me not playing football anymore and where I've come from off the field. Another shout out to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If you guys don't know him, I genuinely say to get to know him, to build a relationship with him, because he's helped me through times that I can't even explain or articulate here on this show. But off the field, he's really transformed my mind and my heart, and I'm forever indebted to him. So shout out to Jesus, man.
Amen, brother.
Appreciate it.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Boom.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Go Broncos.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cards are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's. Start collecting them today.
Jacksons, let's go!